Why does a good God allow suffering? Let's start with the word that causes the most trouble: allow. When we say allow, we imagine God as a school principal stamping papers. Approved. Denied. Approved. Denied. A tornado comes through town. Approved. A child gets cancer. Approved. That's the picture. But what if allow doesn't mean that at all? Think of the sun. The sun shines. It doesn't sit there deciding who gets light and who doesn't. It shines because that's its nature. It doesn't allow or withhold. It just is. So when we ask, why does God allow suffering, we're really asking, why does the sun allow clouds? But the sun doesn't cause clouds. It doesn't fight them either. The clouds pass. The light remains. A Course in Miracles says, nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. That's the shift. The light is real. The clouds are not. What do we mean by suffering? Pain is the body. Break a bone, you feel it. Suffering is the story about that pain. Why me? This isn't fair. This will never end. Pain hurts, but suffering is optional. Imagine a backpack. Life drops a brick of pain in it. That's unavoidable. But the mind keeps adding bricks. God must hate me. I'm cursed. This will ruin me. Suddenly the backpack crushes. The suffering isn't just the first brick. It's all the ones we add. So maybe the question isn't why does God allow suffering? Maybe it's why does the mind keep carrying bricks that were never real? A Course in Miracles says, you are not the victim of the world you see. That's the call to set the backpack down. What do we mean by God? If God is the principal stamping papers, the question makes sense. But if God is the sun, pure shining, pure love, then God isn't allowing suffering. God isn't even in that game. Picture a movie theater. On the screen, people die, wars rage, hearts break. That's suffering. But look behind you. The projector never suffers. The light never bleeds. God is the projector light. We are the ones crying in the theater, forgetting it's a film. A Course in Miracles says, projection makes perception. The movie doesn't come from the screen. It comes from the mind that made it. The ocean and the waves. Think of the ocean. Calm, deep, endless. On its surface, waves rise and crash. If a wave could think, it might say, why does the ocean allow me to break against the rocks? But the ocean never chose that. The wave is just a temporary form. The ocean remains. God is the ocean. Our lives are waves. The crash feels real. The spray feels real. But none of it touches the depth of what we are. The freedom pivot. Here's the real hinge. God never allowed suffering. What God allowed was freedom. Freedom means the mind can imagine clouds. Freedom means the mind can make movies of pain. Freedom means waves can rise and crash, though the ocean never chose it. But here's the flip. Freedom also means nothing in those clouds, movies, or waves has any power to change what God created. The sun never stopped shining. The projector light never flickered. The ocean never left. A Course in Miracles says, the secret to salvation is but this, that you are doing this unto yourself. Not God, not fate, not punishment. The mind misused freedom to dream of suffering. But nothing real was ever touched. By 17 or 18, most people already have a picture of God. Old man, judge, genie, punisher. But maybe all those pictures are doodles on the backpack we're already carrying. Heavy, messy. Wrong. The shift is simple. God is not stamping approvals or denials. God is the light. God is the ocean. God is the projector that never gets burned by the film. The invitation is simple too. Put down the backpack. Watch the movie, but remember the projector. Ride the wave, but remember the ocean. That's what ends suffering. not asking God to explain himself, but remembering the one who suffers is not the self that God created at all. Picture a classroom. 17-year-old faces, each one certain they know what God is. An old man in the sky, a cosmic judge, a silent parent. But the truth is far simpler. God is not the cause of storms, but the light behind them. Not the crash of a wave, but the ocean that remains. Not the movie on the screen, but the light that makes sight possible. To see this is to see that suffering was never allowed because it was never real. Only freedom was given, and only love remains in the twilight zone.